Hi everyone. Welcome to Turkish series stars. All the details are in our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share the video before we continue. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight's story opens with heartbreak. Barış Baktas, one of the most talked about faces of recent years, has been hit by a devastating loss. The beloved actor, known for his calm presence on set and his quiet smile in interviews, received the tragic news that his uncle, someone he cherished since childhood, has passed away after a long battle with illness. Those who have watched Barış's rise in the industry know how rarely he lets emotions take over in public. But at the funeral, the man who always keeps it together couldn't hide the weight of his grief. He was seen wiping tears from his eyes, his composure crumbling in a way fans had never witnessed before. People close to the couple share that the illness had been ongoing for quite some time. In recent days, as the condition worsened, Barış was at the hospital constantly, arriving late in the evenings after set, returning again at dawn, sitting by the bedside and holding his uncle's hand while the machines hummed in the background. He spoke softly, recalled family memories, and tried to lend strength even as he feared the inevitable. He didn't face those nights alone. Yagmur Yuksel, his partner in life and a familiar name to viewers, was by his side at every turn, keeping him grounded, reminding him to eat, slipping coffee into his hand when he forgot to sleep. She stayed quiet in corridors, made calls to relatives, and navigated the logistics that grief makes so hard to process. If there was ever a moment when the public saw what keeps their bond so strong, it was this. The funeral was held in Ankara, the city that shaped Barış's childhood, in a small ceremony that mirrored the family's humility and togetherness. There were no flashing cameras invited and no grand public gestures. Just relatives, a few close friends, and the couple arrived hand in hand. Barış's mother and father were visibly shattered, the kind of exhaustion that grief carves into a parent's face. Barış clasped his mother's shoulders, trying to steady her when his own legs trembled. Yagmur stayed close, a quiet constant, guiding them gently through every moment. When the prayers began, the actor bowed his head for a long time and did not speak. The silence said enough. Those who attended say it was difficult for Barış to even stand during parts of the service. He leaned against a friend's shoulder, took deep breaths, and returned again to the moment. Later, at the graveside, he knelt and rested his hand on the fresh soil, whispering a prayer that lasted far longer than anyone expected. Cameras, despite the family's efforts to keep the event private, caught small pieces of that fragile hour, the glassy eyes, the trembling lip, the gentle squeeze of Yagmur's hand in his. For a figure celebrated for grace under pressure, this was his most human scene. After the burial, where condolences were offered in hushed voices and the scent of rain clung to the air, Barış faced the press with restraint. He did not speak long, he simply said what was in his heart. "He was more than family to me," he said softly, trying to find steadiness in the sentence. "He was my second father. I don't have the words for this ache." Then he stepped back, as though even those few words had taken everything from him. Nearby, Yagmur gave a small nod to the cameras, silently asking for space on his behalf. The actor's representative later issued a brief statement, echoing the couple's need for quiet. "Barış is mourning with his family," it read. "He will take time to heal alongside his loved ones. We appreciate your understanding and support." It was also learned that he has paused all professional commitments for the immediate future. A new series had been in active preparation, with script readings and early production meetings well underway. All of it, for now, is on hold. He has stepped back not just for himself, but to be there for his parents, to help with arrangements, and to honor the man whose counsel guided him through so many decisions. Industry friends reached out one by one. Some who have shared the stage with him called to offer words that, while never enough, still mattered. Others sent messages late into the night, reminding him that he is not alone. Yet the most steadfast presence was the one everyone expected, Yagmur. Her voice, calm, composed, and full of steady love, was the constant rhythm behind the scenes. She shielded him from unnecessary questions, coordinated with the family, and reminded him to breathe when guilt crept in over all the things he wished he'd said. In a world where public perception often runs ahead of truth, their private devotion told the real story. As word of the loss spread, fans flooded social media with messages of compassion. "Our hearts are with you," Barış wrote one. Others added, "Please take the time you need, and may you and your family find strength." Thousands of messages, some short and quiet, others full of shared memories and prayers, poured in across platforms. The couple, though not fully online during these days, was made aware of the outpouring. One relative shared that the family read a few of the notes at night, allowing the kindness of strangers to soften the edges of a very long day. It became clear how deeply this uncle had influenced the man we see on screen. From his childhood through his earliest auditions, he was the one who showed up to school plays, who took him for tea, who offered wisdom without judgment. "Trust your instincts," the uncle would say, "and keep your feet on the ground." Those who know the couple say that when big career choices came up, new scripts, tough contract decisions, Barış often stepped out to call him, to hear that steady voice one more time. Losing that anchor has left a silence that feels like a room suddenly emptied of air. The day the news arrived, Barış cancelled every plan. He turned off his phone for hours, spoke only to family, and set out for Ankara. The city greeted him not as a star, but as a son coming home to mourn. Neighbors who had known him since he was small brought flowers and home-cooked dishes, classic gestures that say what words cannot. Yagmur greeted each visitor with grace, thanked them, and kept the rhythm of the house calm. The family living room turned into a place of remembrance, old photographs, voices recalling the same stories from different angles, a cousin laughing through tears at a memory that suddenly mattered more than ever. During the funeral prayers, the exhaustion caught up with him. Witnesses saw him step back, close his eyes, and steady himself. In that moment, Yagmur reached for his hand, an unspoken promise that she would hold the weight with him. Later, when the press shared images of him lingering at the grave, head bowed and shoulders shaking, the public understood that behind the iconic roles lies a person simply trying to say goodbye. In the days since, life has slowed to a hush around the couple. Their schedules, usually crowded with shoots and rehearsals, shifted to something more intimate: phone calls to relatives, visits to family friends, handling necessary paperwork, and the quiet work of mourning that no one can do for you. At night, they sit together on the balcony, we're told, the city lights flickering below. Sometimes they talk about the uncle's stories, sometimes they simply sit in silence. Grief has its own calendar, and they are letting it move through the rooms of their life without rushing it out the door. Colleagues from recent projects have been respectful. Many have said they will wait as long as needed for Barış to feel ready to work again. Directors, producers, and co-stars have offered rearranged timelines and open doors. A friend from set shared privately that the resilience of the couple is exactly what you'd expect from them: quiet, humble, a strength that doesn't need an audience. And while the cameras captured only a sliver of that graveside moment, the truth is that most of the healing will happen away from any lens, in kitchens and hallways and cars where memory catches you off guard. Amid all of this, one statement from Barış lingers in the air. "He believed in me before anyone did," he said to a family friend after the ceremony. "I hope I can honor that." It is in that sentence you can hear what the next chapter might look like, not a sweeping comeback or a dramatic reinvention, but a gentle recommitment to the values that shaped him. To work with integrity. To take care of the people he loves. To stand by Yagmur the way she has stood by him in this hardest week. The couple has asked for privacy, but they have not closed their hearts to gratitude. They are grateful that the public saw a human being in pain and offered tenderness instead of spectacle. They are grateful for the colleagues who called not with demands, but with patience. And they are grateful for family, the one you are born into and the one you choose, who gathers around you when the world seems to collapse. In the end, that circle is what gets you through. In time, the projects will resume. Scripts will be reopened, lights will warm the set, and the first day back will arrive. But it will come only when Barış and his family feel ready. For now, the plan is simple: stay close, remember the man who shaped him, and let the ache soften at its own pace. If you look beyond the headlines, you can see a love story unfolding in the background, two people moving through a storm together, their steps in sync, their hands intertwined. It's not the kind of scene that earns applause, but it is the one that matters. This is where we'll pause our story. If you've watched to the end, thank you for allowing space for empathy today. We'll share updates when the time is right. You're watching Turkish series Stars. If you liked our video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video. Goodbye for now.